Okay, so in the last video, we talked about creating a remote repository and pushing our local repository contents over to our new remote repository. So that was the basics of it, right? You have your file or whatever, you go into that directory, you do git init, and then you do your add and your commit, and now your git file is tracking the changes in that directory. So we've done that already now, and we've also I also showed you the basics of pushing that to a remote repository. So, but Xcode has its own implementation where you don't have to depend so much on the command line. And you can use a WYSIWYG or drag and drop, whatever you want to call it, and it's all within Xcode. So a lot of companies, they might work their source control like this. So to make things easier on yourself, make things a little more convenient, you can work your remote repository this way. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to create a new file. I mean, not a new file, but a new project, right? Okay. File, new project. And this will be called Xcode Remote, iOS, right? This is of type Swift storyboard. The language of Swift is storyboard. You can also do Swift UI. We aren't doing that right now. We're using UI kit and the storyboard. So let's show remote example with Xcode. Okay. We have this and we're putting this in here. So we have a directory called remote example. No, that's not what we're going to do. Let's see, GitHub. Jesus Christ, what is going on? Dev, pragmatic programming. Okay, we have a GitHub remote example. Remote example with Xcode, right? So that's what we're doing right there in the same directory. Okay. Now, one thing I didn't check. I'm gonna pause for a second. Resume. So what we're gonna do is let's go ahead and go to Xcode. We're gonna go ahead and create a new remote repository. So we go here, and the new repository name is I'm gonna name it the same thing that I did, that project, this remote example with Xcode. See, I'm gonna go back here and name this here. Say private for for explanation purposes. Private. I don't want a readme or a .git ignore. We'll get into that later. Create repository. And this is where we are, okay? So now, what I'm going to do is stop right here. Okay, so we have this. Now what we're gonna do is, now we have this remote repository created. What we need to do is go back to Xcode, right? And we're gonna go to from Xcode, preferences, and we have accounts. We need to add a new account, and this is going to be a GitHub account. just like this. Hold on line. Sorry about that. Okay. It'd be a GitHub account, right? And then we'll go continue. And I need to add my account name. So what I'm going to do is go here and I'm going to blur out all that other stuff because I don't want to share my my login information. Window documents, logins, G. Actually, let me want to pause this. Okay, so now what I did was I went to preferences, accounts, and then I did add. I made sure all of this was done. Add an account. It's gonna ask me for my username. This is my account right there, 100, and this is my personal access token. I showed you how to do that. Okay, now I sign in. Now this GitHub is connected with this account, right? And of course, I want this HTTPS set here, not SSH. And SSH key is set to none. And yeah, we should be good. So I'm gonna close this out, go to source control, new repositories, create a new repository, select create, and then I'm gonna go here and go to repositories, and here this is where I am right here. Branches, tags, locations. I should be able to see recent remotes. That's what I'm looking for. Remotes, right here. Okay, right click on the remotes, and I should be able to say add existing remote right here. And then for this location, I should be able to do this right here. Get this URL, put it in add existing remotes, V, click add. All right, so now I have an added existing remote. And then we should go back here and should go source control. And now let's do this. I'm gonna go ahead and go to my view controller, and let's just do something to make sure that it's running. And we'll say print. This is a working project. Okay. Now I want my device to be iPhone 13 Pro Max, and I'm gonna go ahead and do a build. It might take a while. It takes a while for it to do the initial build, but there it is right there. This is working. So now I've made a change, as you can see right here. I've made a change. Let's say commit. I'm gonna say my first commit, and I'm going to push to remote while I'm doing it. And so it's pushed to my remote. So now when I go back to my browser, I reload this, and there we are right here. And as you can see right here, it says my first commit. And I'll say view controller, my first commit. This is a working project. And yeah, so and of course I can go back to Xcode and add something again, say print. Let's add to this. Let's add to this. Right? And right, let's go ahead and build. Of course, already running. Yes, replace that. I probably should have went ahead and stopped that what was running. Okay, let's add to this. Good. It's working. I'm gonna go ahead and stop that. Ooh, so now I've made a change. As you can see right here, modify for M for modified. And what I'm going to do now is commit everything. So right here, it does the commit and add. If you commit without pushing, you can come back and push. So previously, I did the commit and push simultaneously. However, you have the option to do the commit and then come back and do a push. Okay. And of course, probably goes without saying, but I'm gonna say it anyway. When you do your commit, it's already doing the add git add dot is already taking place. It's already adding. So it's not just committing, is adding and then committing. So, but just in case that wasn't a given, that's the deal. So I'm going to push the remote simultaneously. I'm gonna say next commit, and it pushed. And when I go to this remote, I should be able to say, and there we go, let's add to this. So now we have our local repository working, and we have our remote here on GitHub working, and we're managing it not through the terminal, but through GitHub. And of course, there is a Git file in there right here. Okay. So yes, on to the next.